You know, one of the most common concerns that we have as leaders is what's going to happen to my business if I step away, if I take a break or go on vacation? How can I ensure things move forward smoothly while I'm away? It's super important that we have a plan for that as leaders. But today I'm going to tell you a story not about being concerned as to whether I have the right plan, but actually being terrified to go on vacation as a leader. I'm going to tell you what I learned from the experience, the tool that I have today, because the truth is today I no longer feel that way. And in fact, I'm on vacation right now. I am ending today what has been an amazing week in Yosemite National Park, connecting with my family and connecting with Mother Nature. I feel charged up. I say my soul has been nourished. I don't know about you, but there are vacations that I take sometimes where I get home and I feel like I need a vacation from my vacation. Have you ever felt that way? So I want to know where to go on vacation next. If you would chat in or put into the comments, where is the feeling, the place where you have that feeling of being nourished and charged up? I'd love to know. So let me tell you the story, because it wasn't always this way. I'm in my early 20s and I'm working in a work environment that I would describe as very cutthroat, very high pressure. Maybe you've seen the movie Boiler Room. This was a sales organization, about 35 salespeople, and it was absolutely a pressure cooker. In fact, in the first year that I worked on that team, the manager got fired 5 times. We had 5 different managers in 1 year. The managers were turning over so fast that it was like, I would equate it to being a coach of a professional sports team. Talk about high pressure. Coaches, if you're an NFL coach, your lifespan isn't very long. And this was very similar. In fact, they called the manager's position the hot seat. Maybe you've heard that term. He's in the hot seat. She's in the hot seat. That was the situation in that industry. 3 of the 5 times, the manager got fired while they were on vacation. They'd go on vacation. While they were on vacation, the results would tank, and they would get fired while they were gone. Just a really difficult experience. After about a year, I've done well enough where now they want me to take over the role as the manager. And I'm sitting here thinking, do I really want this opportunity? And yet there was a part of me that wanted the opportunity as much to change the culture as anything. So I took the role with the idea that I would be able to be a change maker and help transform things. After a few months, all of a sudden I had a vacation planned, a vacation that was coming up. And as the vacation got closer and closer, I found myself getting more and more nervous. And at first I didn't equate my nervousness with the experience that I'd had the year before. And then one morning in a meditation, I realized, oh my God, I'm scared, I'm nervous, because 3 other times the person has been fired when they were on vacation. So I went to my mentor and I said, hey, listen, I'm having this feeling. What do I do with this? One of the things I loved about working with that particular mentor in my life was he helped me dial in what my core values were. You see, as a leader, our mindset, the way we think, is the transformational tool. It is super powerful. And that's why Monday mornings, you and I gather in Monday morning mindset so that we can put on a way of thinking that helps us transform ordinary into extraordinary. And today we are on part 2 of talking about core values, because that's what he helped me do. So let me just break a myth for a second. Some people think of core values as your ethics or your morals. It's way simpler than that. Core values are simply just what is most valuable to you. What's most important? And making sure that you understand and you identify what's most important to you and then put them in an order is a super valuable experience. Most people have about 5 to 7 things that are most important. And when we are aligned, when our actions and our work are aligned with those values, we feel a sense of being on purpose, energized, satisfied, and fulfilled with what we're doing. And anytime those values are off, it is demotivating. It can be demoralizing, gutting experience, difficult. It drains our energy when we're not aligned. And there was a version of that I was experiencing. You see, because my mentor had helped me identify my 3 most important values. And I'm going to share those with you right now. And then I'm going to give you a tool, a way in which you can identify truly what are your values and what order do they go in. So let me share with you mine. The first, most important value to me is my connection to the infinite side of my nature, my connection to my higher power. Another way to say this is my version, my connection to God. Because you see, for me, when I'm connected to that spirit, I'm going to be the most effective person that I can possibly be. Second to my connection to God is my connection to family. Family is the next most important thing to me. I don't believe I can be a good father, a good husband, a good coworker, a good teammate with my work family if I don't have a good connection to God. So God and family, and by family, I don't just mean my blood family, I also mean my work family, because I love to work in a way where we feel like family. Is that you? Do you like to work that way in your work environment? Does it feel like a family? And then after family comes work, my actual vocation, my expressive job in the world for me, being a transformational business coach. So it goes God, family, work in that order. And it's always been that way since I worked with that mentor. And what I realized was the company's values, the company culture, didn't have that same set of values. So I went in and I talked to my boss. And I said, here's the deal. I understand if I don't perform that I'm going to lose my job. And I'm okay with that. I understand I've got to produce a certain level of results to be able to maintain this job. But what's not okay with me is that in the moment that you make the decision I'm no longer the right person for the job, that you call me on vacation to let me know that. I want an agreement right now that if I'm going to stay working in this leadership role, that we're going to treat each other differently. That if you feel I'm not the right fit, that you will let me know before the vacation, if that happens to be the moment in which you make that decision. And the good news about the owner, I went right to the owner of that company, and he gave me his word that he would treat me that way. And I went on to work for that company for 23 years, and never again did anybody get fired when they were on vacation. And I'm proud of that. I helped transform the culture of that company from the inside out. And it starts with transforming ourselves and then the world around us. So here's the tool. Here's what you can do, okay? Take a moment, get somewhere quiet, get out a piece of paper and a pen, and think about a moment in your life where you truly felt everything was aligned. Everything was at what I would call a peak moment, an ideal moment in your life. Everything felt connected and right. And describe that in writing, everything that was going on in that time in your life, that moment. It's one moment where you felt fully aligned. After that's step one, is to think of the moment and then write about it. Step two is then to read and go through and pull out and identify the core value words that are in there. And it's very important that you pull them out. As an example, one of my values is integrity. And yet, if I write the word integrity, it might mean something different to me than it means to you. So after you've identified what the words are, then write what they mean to you. Each of the values from that ideal moment in your life. What do those core values mean to you? And then take those and put them in an order. Put them in an order of priority. When you do that, you will be more aligned with your core values. You'll be a greater transformational leader. You'll have more fulfillment, more satisfaction. And I would love to know what they are. I am a deep, deep student of this sort of principle and more transformational leadership. So would you be willing to share one? I'd love for you to share one of your values because they make a difference not only for me, but for our world. Once you've identified and you've put them in an order, then live by them. Let them guide you. And you will find yourself more aligned, more on purpose, and more transformative. This has been Monday Morning Mindset. Let's, this week, transform ordinary into extraordinary. I am going to enjoy the rest of this vacation day, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday for another Monday Morning Mindset. Make it a transformational week. Bye-bye.